This conference will now be recorded.
All right. Are you guys able to see my desktop?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right. Good. So, yeah. So last time we were here, right? Um, the very first program we did in the Eclipse, right? Just to familiar with Eclipse, right? How it is and what it is. And then like we discuss about the workspace, what workspace is all about. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and create um, a project, right? So this is not like this is what my workspace is all about. And then we're gonna go ahead and create one project here. So I'll go new and I'll create the Java project, and I'll say some meaningful name, yeah. And then it will gonna go ahead and store in my default location, right? So I'll do that. So it's been created, right? And over here I'm gonna go ahead and create the package. So we discuss about class, and now I'm gonna go ahead and create the package. So package is uh, generally package is something which is in the reverse order, right? So let's take an example. If you are working for any XYZ organization, yeah. So the when we are creating the package, right? So the order should be in the reverse, like if it is let's take an example, xyz.com. So it should be like something com dot xyz dot your project name. So whatever project you are working on, your project name, and then dot your module name, on which module you are working on, and dot let's take an example. If you're working on some any particular functionality or particular area in that module, so that functionality or the uh, functionality or that particular area name, that is something which you know the the order when we are creating the package. This is what the nomenclature when we are creating the package. Why is it so? Because like one project, like one particular project, like let's say the Selenium project, yeah. So like we give name something. I did a mistake over here. All right, let it be. So like when we are doing that, why we are doing this in this order? So let's take an example in future, right? So this particular project may contain a different modules, yeah. So it's not like that only one project is like the Selenium project I'm saying, the Java project can have a single office project. Are you getting the difference? Yeah. So it can contains the multiple project, right? And in that multiple projects we might have the multiple modules as well, yeah. So for that we are defining in this order. So like this order or this what we can say, that the nomenclature has been given by the Selenium only. So Selenium is following this thing, and Java developer guys also following the same pattern. Mostly Selenium comes second, Java comes first. So Java is following this nomenclature, reverse ordering. That's why Selenium is also started doing the same. Yeah. So in the reverse order, so com.xyz dot your project name dot your module name, and everything should be in a small letter, module name, and then any particular functionality or any page you want to work on. Yeah, so that should be the order of your package when you are creating the package. So this is what how it is. So I'll show you why it is in this way. Yeah, so you'll get some real time view on that. So be with me. So we are starting hope we have started the recording. Yeah, all right. Yeah. And then like under this we're going to go ahead and create the class. So you understood, right, why we are creating package. Yeah, so what I can do is I'm going to go ahead and create, so we're going to go ahead and create the project which is called as the uh, calculator. So we'll design the calculator today. So if I go over here at this particular workspace, so show in system explore. Yeah, so you can directly go in this way. So you just need to right click on your project to find the path, say show in, and then go your system explore. Yeah, so this is what the workspace, and this is what all the projects I do have over here, isn't it? So this is what we created today only. Yeah, so over here if you looked at, so like this is what the structure it has been created, the eclipse has been created, and under src, see now the com folder has been come first, then xyz, this is what your organization name is, then the project name, under project name we have the module name, and under module name we do have the functionality name, and in that functionality we have this particular class. Now you can see, right, so under this module, we have the functionality. So if I create some different package over here now, if I create some different package over here now, functionality one. So again, if I create some different package, say new package com dot xyz dot,
Rahul, it is given as XYX.
sorry, yeah, please correct me when I'm doing such things. No, module name, and then that was the functionality. So I can say that lady 2, something like that. Yeah. See what is happening over here. See the structure. See the structure over here. Yeah. So you can see this name is common. Till this we have the common name, and then two different packages under this particular folder, right? And if I go at the back end, see module name, and then we have some different two folders. That's it. So the maintenance will be very easy, right, down the line when we are designing the framework. At that time the maintenance will be very easy for the different classes. We will be easily able to identify this class is belongs to which particular package, isn't it? So package is nothing but the folder structure where it resides, isn't it? So that is the way, and this is what the industry standard. So what we are doing over here, yeah, the package name, so this is something is like in this order only, the reverse order. Yeah, that's there. So we'll go in depth down the line. So today just understand like this much is sufficient. Yeah, so it's in the reverse order what we are working for. All right, so that's there. And then
Rahul, can we change the
mhm.
name of that folder? Is it possible that Selenium, like you have given the name? I know
Yeah,
you try to change, but do we have an option to change it?
yes, we do have option to change it. um, so over here you can change the name.
Okay.
Yeah, so in the project, this is where we can go ahead. So this is the only way where you can go ahead and change it, else it won't be able to possible to do it. Yeah, so just save it and close it. So probably it might change over here from there. So it's there. Let me go ahead and check. Where it is. It's not change or what. So let me delete it from here and let me import it. So like when we are deleting the project, so we always get this option. So if you check this checkbox, then it will be delete from your workspace as well. So I'll just remove it from the Eclipse, not from my the disk. Yeah, so I'll say okay, and then I'll import it again. And I'll say file and the import from the existing project into the workspace. Yeah, okay, and let me search for it. Here it is.
That's still the old name, isn't it?
Still the same name. This should not be the case. Not right. Probably that is the only thing, because we do not get any other option to change it.
Mm-hmm.
Are you able to see some rename option here? Yeah, is there? Let me try in this way. Okay, now it's been changed.
Refactor option is there. You can change
Yeah,
through this.
factor you can do it. Yeah, it's been there. Yeah, over here also we have the refactor and the rename. Yeah,
Okay.
that way also we can do it. So like now it's been changed. So initially we do have the rename directly over here, but now it's refactor, and then we got the rename and then the move over here. So two more options. We got the move as well over here. Yeah, it's been changed now somehow. So but yeah, so both ways, with the refactor also we can change it, or like by changing this file also. So when we import it, so that is what the file is, where we do have the project name. We need to change that over here as well, right? Project name, this is the root of it. So this is also we need to change. That's there. All right, so we got it here.
Okay. So even if we change it on the Eclipse, so we have to go back to the project folder and then project file and then we have to update it there.
Right, because if you are not doing that, so then when you are importing it into some another project, so
Mm.
it will come with the same name. Because like the property file, this is what is the property file dot project, yeah. So that names
Mhm.
to be same.
Okay.
So that's there. All right. So yeah. So this is something how it is. So we were discussing about the package, yeah. So this is what. So now, like what we can do is, we're gonna go ahead and discuss about the design of the calculator. So what are the different uh, things that comes in your mind when we discuss about the calculator? Anything? What are different things? Let's take an example. You want to design a calculator,
Addition, all operations,
hmm,
max operations,
right? You will get addition,
addition, subtraction.
yeah. And like see what I'm doing, why I'm getting this, I just typing public and then control and space, right? So when you're typing control and space, Eclipse itself is giving you some suggestion what type of method you want. You want a public method or you want a public static method. So it's giving us an option. So I'll go with the public static. So don't think at the moment what this is all about, public, static, and void. So we're going to go ahead and discuss. We're going to have an entire session on this. This is very useful, right? So I'm going to go ahead and have an entire session on this. This is what, again, the public, static, void. What is this public and what is this class? So all these keywords we're going to discuss. So at the moment, just focus on this particular things, right? So what I am doing, I'm creating a different methods. So this is all are the methods. So this is what the class, right? We created the class and we created the first method, which is the main method. Then I created the addition method. Now I'm creating the, like, say, subtraction, right? Again, if I want to create the third, I'll say public, control and space. I'll be able to get this one, yeah. So that is what the importance of this Eclipse when we are using the Eclipse, yeah. So this is what is helping us to write our code smartly and effectively, isn't it? So and then we'll have the multiplication, and at the end, like, we do have the division, right? And then what we have is to have over here. So like, let's take an example. If we have two variable, integer a and then integer b, right? So you guys know, right, what it integer align, what is this float and all those stuff, yeah. So I, or do I need to go into it? So just let me know, like, if you are not comfortable, so let me know. I'll go ahead into that, because some point I missed, because integer and float and all these data types you might have learned in your engineering as well, isn't it? So just need to recall it. Addition of I'll say two numbers, and then I'll go ahead and say a plus b over here. Now simple. Or what you can do is, or if you are confused, you can write something like this: integer c is equals to a plus b over here, and then you can go ahead and see write a C over here. Yeah, in this way also. So this is gonna do. So what it's gonna do, right? When you are passing some variables over here, integer a and integer b, so the addition will be going to go and store in this variable integer c, and then we are printing just a statement addition of two numbers is equals to c. Now whenever we are want to concatenate, so we need to use the plus operator, right? The statement which is inside the double quote, it will gonna just print on the console. We saw, right, hello world program that day over here, and it was under the double quote. So whatever you're gonna write inside the double quote, it will gonna print as is, isn't it? So it will gonna print as is. So I wrote this thing inside the double quote, so it will gonna print as is, and then it will gonna concatenate the value of this particular c variable, what it is holding. Now what it is holding at the moment, addition of these two variables, addition of a and addition of b. So whatever parameters will gonna pass over here, 2 3 4 5, depend on the user input, so it will go ahead and add, and then it will gonna print over here. Yeah, so this is what going to happen in this particular method. Yeah, so in the same way, I'll just go ahead and copy and paste this thing multiple times. So let's take an example. This is for the integer c. Now this time it will be in the reverse order, b minus b minus a. So I'm gonna go ahead and say, sorry, you don't need to copy paste, you need to type it by your own. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take these particular variables. I'm doing it because to just save the time. And I'll do same parameter here as well, same parameter here as well. So I can write in this way as well directly, isn't it? A multiplied by b. Yeah. So I can write the operation. I can do the operation in runtime. So if you are really need to have this variable, then only you use it. If you don't need, it's not required to use it. Yeah. So in this way also, I can directly go ahead and perform that operation. And again over here, I'll say something like this. If you want, if you are confused, so you can surrounded by the block, right? So we are done. Yeah, simple. So there are the thousands of the functionalities in the calculator, but we are not going to go and discuss almost everything. So we'll just the basic one, so just for our understanding, isn't it? So what we did, like so we created one class called as first we created one package. Under the package, we created one class called as calculator, and in that class, very first method which what we have is the main method, and then we do have the different methods available. Yeah. So now, if I run this, so what will be the output? Anyone? Just guess. There is no right or wrong question answer. Just a guess.
Good
If I
morning.
run,
I think we have to create the object of the class, and after that we have to call the method.
that's true. But the question is, what is the output? So like that is what again
Good
like we
morning.
discussed. Yeah.
Good
So we
morning.
discussed. Right. That's true. That's the correct. So again, like when see, you know the things, but like listen the question first. What I ask, what is the output? So that is what the answer like we to be I'm expecting, right? Good morning or something else. Yeah, that's true. That's just okay. We need to create the object and do something else. But understand the question. Like when you are going for the interview. So this is what the general mistake we are making. We know the answers and then we like represent it in a different way. So that is sometimes the interviewer don't like it, isn't it? So listen the question and answer only that what it is, he or she trying to ask, isn't it? Don't go beyond that. And if you want to elaborate more after answering this his or her question, if you want to elaborate more, that's the good point. Yeah. So that is something. Be specific when you're answering. Be specific. All right. So yeah, so answer will be the good morning. Yeah, that is what the answer is all about. So if you are creating thousands of method or tons of method over here, that's good. It should be in a class, but whatever they are inside the main method, that is what gonna go ahead and execute. Yeah, so that is something the internal mechanism of the JVM. So JVM, right? Java Virtual Memory, JVM. So it stands for the Java Virtual Memory. So the JVM is gonna go ahead and look out for this particular main method first in the class, in the Java class, right? So whatever there in the main method, so JVM gonna go ahead and execute it, right? So it is least bother about this thing, so it's gonna go ahead and execute it. So if I just run it, so as you know, you always know it, so it will gonna go ahead and show the good morning message over here, the good morning message. All right. So now if I want to go ahead and call this method, so how do I do it? But I want to execute all this method as well. Mhm. Now what is this? What this statement is doing over here?
You have created the object of the class.
Okay.
Uh, cal,
What is
cal
this?
is the
So okay. So let me tell me, like, help me understand the difference between this statement and this statement. Help me understand
Uh,
the difference between these two statements.
New calculator for the memory allocation.
This is for the
uh,
memory
ca-
allocation.
Yes.
and cal is the object name of the class calculator. New is the keyword which can be used for creating the class.
Uh okay. So cal is the object representation of the class calculator. That's true. And what this keyword is?
New.
Mm-hmm. So I know it's new, but what is the significance of it?
Are we assigning any virtual memory for that class by giving new?
All right. So let me correct you. Yeah. So new is the keyword to create the object of the class of this particular class, calculator class. All right. So over here, this is nothing but the object of the calculator class. Whenever I'm saying new calculator, that means I have created the object of the calculator class. So new is the keyword to create the object of the class. All right. So class name can be vary. It can be anything. So depend on the what is or a class name. So can be anything. So new, when I'm saying new calculator, is gonna go ahead and create the object of that particular class and allocate a memory to that particular class inside the JVM. Right? That is what the internal mechanism of the Java. This is what the first statement. Now what this statement is doing?
So Rahul, is there
Mhm.
is there a possibility that will give only the new calculator without giving the
Yes,
yeah
yes, there
what
is a possibility. Yeah,
so what
we'll
happens
discuss
in
that.
this case?
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
discuss that as well. Right. So this is what the new calculator. The first way to create the object, and the second way is the calculator calc is equal to new calculator. Now, what is the difference between these two statements? Again, this might be your interview question. Yeah. So what is the difference between these two statements? Right. So we just discussed the first statement. The second is what? Calculator calc is equal to new calculator. So what we are doing, we are assigning one variable, right, which is the object representation. Right. Now what we are doing is over here the same operation is happening what is happened over here, right? It's again creating an object and then JVM is assigning some memory to this particular object, and this memory, now this memory location is been assigned to this particular variable, which is cal. It can be anything, yeah, it can be xyz pqr whatever you want, you can use it, right? But be specific so that other guys may know, right? When you are writing program, so be specific, have some meaningful name, isn't it? It can is user friendly, you can write anything over here, right? But have some specific name, right? So calculator calc is equals to new calculator. Now what we did, so same operation is will going to perform as it did by the JVM over here, the same operation will be performed for this particular statement, but the only difference what we did, we have created one the variable, right? And we have assigned the JVM location or the object representation of this particular object to this particular variable, so that we can use this multiple time. All right, so let's go ahead and understand, right? So I have, this is also again go ahead, we're going to go ahead and create the object. So new calculator uh, dot, see, I'm able to get this thing addition, and then I'm going to go ahead and write 5 plus 6, something like this, and then again I'm going to go ahead and write new calculator dot subtraction. I'm going to go ahead and write 6 and then 7, sorry, 6 and something like this over here. Then again I'm going to go ahead and write new calculator dot, I used to get all the methods, yeah. So we have the multiplication, so again I'll say 3 and then I'll pass something different over here, new calculator dot division. So you can search, right? You can just type something over here and then write something. All right, so we created this thing, yeah. So now if I run this, so what will the output, you know, right? You guys know, right? So it will gonna go ahead and show me the actual output now. All right, so addition of two number, so excuse me, this is showing minus only because of this. All right, so the addition of two number is 11, subtraction is something minus 3, multiplication is 15, and the division is 0 because it has, I mean, shown some modular division or something like that. All right, so we are not into the operation at the moment, so yeah, so it will give you some correct value. All right, so that's there, so it did the operation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do the same calc dot, over here also I do have the addition, I can write some number over here. All right, something over here, yeah. All right, so that's there. So if I run it, let me have some separator. Yeah, so if you looked at the output, so the output is same, so both are doing the same operation. Over here also I got my output, and over here also I got my output, right? This is the two way to do it. So then, like, what is the best way to do it? So which way I need to go ahead? This is for the one way and this is for the second way. So what is which is the recommended and which is not? No, this is for the recommended way. This is not recommended. And never ever do this thing. The reason being, are you getting it? Yeah, this is what the difference. Are you following me? This is what the difference is all about.
Yes.
So what has happened over here, we created a 4 object of the same class. Over here we created only one object of the class and we are using it multiple times, right? Let's take an example. If we have the 1000 methods to call, will we be like, is it feasible for us to create 1000 object of that particular class? Yeah, we can create 1000 object, but what about the JVM? JVM will be crash. Your system, the performance will go down. Your execution will be taking time. This is never ever recommended. This is what like the recommended ways. All right. So now moving forward, whenever you are creating the object of the class, go with this approach, isn't it? This is neither recommended, never been recommended. Reason being the memory allocation. So whenever you are writing the new keywords, so every time JVM will gonna go ahead and create a new object and then assign the memory to it, a different memory location to it, which we do not want. So in real time, we will be having 1000 object, in one particular 1000 classes, right? In a project, right? And then we need to create n number of objects, even we cannot count, and this is never ever been recommended, right? So always go ahead and create the reference variable of the class, and then use it as many time as you want, isn't it? That is something how it is. All right, this is something how it is. Yeah, so moving forward, never do this. I'll keep it over here just for your reference. I just comment it out. So if you want to comment the multiple lines, you just need to select all, and then like from your keyboard, so just say Control Shift and then question mark, or that like the key, right? That will comment you all the lines. Yeah. Or if you don't want to get it, so the shortcut is control and the question mark, right? So control and the question mark key, if you press that, so by selecting the number of lines, you can go ahead and the comment goes like in one go, isn't it? So that's there, control and the question mark, right? So you'll be able to get it. So don't do anything at the moment, just be there, relax, stand back, sit back, and then like you need to visit this recording at that time, just do it. All right, so this is what it is. Yeah, so we are done with this particular program. Yeah, so this is not recommended. So new calculators, always use calculator. Calc is equals to new calculator. This is what the recommended way to create the object of the class, right? So this is what the class and the object are about, right? So let's take a definition. Yeah, so we saw it in actual. So what is the definition? What is theoretical definition? What is theory behind it? Yeah, so any question, guys, over here? Do we have any question, or we are done? We are clear about. It's pretty straightforward. Yeah. All right. So what is class? A class can be defined as a template or a blueprint which describes state or the behavior of its object. So what does it mean? In other words, class can be used to create the object. All right. So if you looked at, so over here, the class is, the tree is the class, and then we have the parameter called as the height. Yeah. So this height, this particular parameter can be different for different trees. If it is the orange tree, the height probably a 2 meter, or let's take an example 50 or 20 feet. Yeah. So if it is an orange tree, but if it is a mango tree, then height probably will be goes to 50 or 60 feet, isn't it? So that parameters may vary, but right, the class, right, the tree class will remain the same. So in that particular tree class, we can have a different trees with a different height, isn't it? So this is what my blueprint is all about, and then we can vary the parameter in it, isn't it? So that's there. So second example to give over here is, so you might have filled some form, right? So if you go to any bank to withdraw the cash, nowadays we are just doing online, but like let's take an example. You might have went to any bank to withdraw the cash. So what do? We first get the slip, right? And we need to fill that slip, isn't it? We need to fill our slip with our first name, last name, and then our account number and blah blah blah, or there an amount and all those stuff need to fill there, and then we just need to hand it over. So what is that? That slip is nothing but a template, isn't it? That is nothing but the class. All right. And what is varying over there? All the customers are varying over there, right? So we are coming, the customers are coming and they are filling the same details. Everyone is filling their first name, last name, their account number, and then address and all those things they are filling over there. Yeah. And that is what we are doing, right? So that's there. So right, so that is what the class is all about, right? So what we can do is, so the different examples, like, right, so let's take an example. Over here, the object, like again, like, the class, the student class has been given over here. So the right, and then we do have the different parameters: name, roll number, set name, roll, set name, set roll number, right? And then we do have different students in it. Yeah. And these all are the objects, right? This particular class name is student, isn't it? So like all these guys are having a different parameters. They do have a different name, we have different roll number, they do have the set name and then the set roll number, isn't it? Likewise. Yeah. So that is something is what the uh, class and the object is all about. So same we did over here, right? So what we have is, we have one class called as a calculator, and in this particular class we can have a different sets. We do have the addition, we do have the subtraction, we do have the multiplication, we do have the division. So what we are doing over here, we are creating one template, isn't it? This is a template, this is not going to go change. What is vary over here? This particular thing is going to go vary, right? This is the only thing is going to go vary. This is going to be a same, this is a template, right? So we created one template. That's what this definition is meaning. The Java class can be defined as a template or a blueprint which describes the state or the behavior of its object, isn't it? So now this is gonna define the behavior of my object. So whatever I'm gonna go ahead and write over here, right? So that replicate in my object creation and ultimately into the output. We had some, the sign over here, minus sign over here. So that is what, see, now what I did, I changed the template, I added some extra word over here. Now this is what I changed. Now if I run it, so that is going to go ahead and replicate in my output. See, is replicated in my output, isn't it? So what I did, I changed the template. So this is nothing but the, right, the template. Are you getting me? Right? So class, right, what it's saying, a Java class can be defined as a template or the blueprint which describes the state or the behavior of its object. So whatever I'm writing over here, that is going to go ahead and define the behavior of my object which I'm going to go ahead and create over here. So I can create n number of objects for this class, right, and then go ahead with it to work with it, as long as I needed it, isn't it? And I can have the n number of parameters or n number of methods over here, right, to define the calculators. And you know, right, we have n number of functionality in the calculator, isn't it? So it's just
Rahul,
a simple example. Yeah,
can we create multiple objects for the same class?
yeah, we can create.
So how it will work actually? It won't it be
But do
confused?
we need it?
Sorry.
Do we really need it? So I can create the multiple objects, say over here. I can type it n number of times. This name should not be same, yeah. I can
Okay.
type as long as I want it to be, but like the all object will going to perform the same operation. So if I create one or if I create 1,000, it doesn't matter. All are going to go and perform the same operation, isn't it? So yeah, it's again an interview question. Can we create? Yes, we can create, but it doesn't make any sense. All they are going to go ahead and perform only one operation. Yeah. So it's not recommended. Like you can create the multiple object of the class, create only one object, and then use it as and when required. All right. So that's there. So like in real time, when we will design framework, so this is gonna be a global declaration. So now I like this is very early stage, right? We are not going to go into that depth, but just understand. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and create only one object of the class, and we're gonna use it as long as it is usable, right? We need it. Yeah. So yes, we can create a multiple object, but at the moment in this particular class is not useful. Yeah. But yes, down the line when we are having thousands of the classes and we need to connect each other or link each other, at that time we need to create the object of the class and use it in different classes. That's there, but it's not, I mean, at the moment it's not required. So that is what how it is. Yeah. All right. So yeah, we are ready. So we are designing this particular the class, and we understood what is the object and what is the class. All right. Now what I can do is I'll do something over here. Yeah. So I'll just right click on this particular class called as calculator, and then I'll go ahead and say export. Yeah. And then I'll export as a jar file. So what is a jar file? Anyone, any idea? Mm-hmm.
It's a type of an executable file to execute the functions.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? All right. So what we are doing is we are creating the jar file out of this particular calculator. Yeah. So I just right click on it. Let me do it one more time. So just right click on it and then say export option over here, and then you can select a jar file from here and then say next and specify the location wherever you want. So I just selected something like later on the desktop. Yeah, jar files. I'll select this thing and I'll say finish. All right, I'm okay with that. Yeah. So if I go over here, um, so I do have the jar file. Yeah, it's an executable file. So what is jar actually? So jar file is nothing but the Java archive file. Yeah. So all thing and everything in Selenium or in Java is about the jar files, not in Selenium, particularly in Java language, right? In Java world, all thing and everything is all about this jar file. Java is all about this jar file, nothing else, isn't it? So what we did, we just created the jar file out of it, a Java archive file, isn't it? And now go anywhere across the world, you can hand over this particular jar file to anyone. He or she will be able to access what we design what we wrote over here. Yeah, what we did over here, the person who is using this jar file will be able to do it, isn't it? So that is what the power of the jar file. Yeah. So if you just looked at over here, if I expand this, this is what the tons of the jar file you can see over here, dozens of the jar file you can see here. Resources.jar, rt.jar, and then n number of jar files are over here. Yeah. So this jar file and the jar file which we created now, the way they have been created is the same. All right. Over here we have the calculator functionality as an bundled as a jar file. Here they might have bundled something different which is gonna use, which we are using as a Java language. All right. But the way this jar file has been designed and the bundle is the same as we did over here in the calculator world. Yeah. So this is what the jar file is executable jar file. Yeah, the Java archive files. Right. So that is what this jar file is all about. Yeah. And this Java is all about the jar file only. Right. So now what is use this? How to use this jar file? Yeah. So how to use this jar file? Let me do this. So I am over here. Yeah. Today we design this particular jar file. So the other person, right? Some sitting in some XYZ location, yeah, and then he or she wants to use this jar file. So how do we do it, right? So you know, right? We created this program sometime later in the first session, right? So let me use that particular jar file over here. So how do I do it? Yeah. So this is what my the class, the project which I did, and this is what my the class. So what I can do is I'll just right click on my project and I'll go to build path and I'll say add external archive over here. Yeah, I'll say add external archive and then I'll go, yeah, so it's directly over here. Yeah, so desktop and jar file. Yeah, so path is here. So if it is not, you need to search for your path where it is, and then you just need to no, this is not the desktop jar file actually. Oh, we gave name 11 or 13. What was the name? Is that the same name? Okay, yeah. So it should be 13. Yeah, probably I gave 11 name. All right. So yeah, it's been created today only. All right. So I can take this jar file and I'll say open. See, it's been added over here as an reference libraries. Yeah. So it's created a new folder called as reference library, and then it's added over here in this particular class, in this particular project rather, right? So if I just minimize, so I'll be able to see the different folders now. See over here, JRE system libraries. This is all the jar files, right? The system libraries we got from the Java, and this is what our like user defined jar file, yeah, is there now. Now how to use it?
Rahul, just one quick
Mhm,
question. So the
mhm.
JRE system library actually having different jar files between, the one which you are showing in the current screen and the previous Eclipse workspace. Why it is so? Here we have the more list. On the other Eclipse, I have seen like very less.
Yeah, over here, no.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, correct. Yeah, there it is very less.
Hmm. Even I don't know. So this is something which is the system defined library. So like the system has imported it, so we have nothing to do with it, isn't it? So system imported based on like what the system needed, isn't it? So it's been imported from this particular inbuilt operation, right? Yeah. So might be some different files over here. So it's a system internal function. Even I don't know, to be honest, why there are different files over here and different files there. Yeah.
Is
So
the
yes, we
version
have
over there?
some are more less. Probably that might be the reason because this is my pretty old Eclipse. So probably the versioning may vary because and this is for the latest one which we downloaded, yeah, on that day. Probably the versioning might be the cause behind that. But to be honest, I'm not sure. But it's internal. We really don't need to get into that. System is taking care of it. Yeah. So that's there. Yeah. All good. So we imported this thing. Now what we need to do is, I can directly say, um, let me copy this stuff. See now what is happening. So guys, if you're not speaking, please go on mute. Um, yeah. So now I created the object. Now how to use this thing? How to use this jar file? Yeah. So what we need to do is we need to create the object. So that is very the first thing, right? So how do this person know, right? What is there in this particular jar file? So we need to create the object of that file, right? The object of that particular class, and then only we will be able to use it, right? To use it. So there is no other way. This is the very first thing we need to do. Yeah. So that's there. So I just created the object, and if I mouse over, now you can see it's showing me to import this calculator, and from where I'm importing it, look at com.xyz.project name.module name.functionality name. Do you relate this thing from where it is coming?
The package we created.
Actually, yeah, this is what the name, the package we created, com.xyz.project name module name functionality name, right? That is what it is all about. And then the class which is calculator. Yeah, under this particular package we have the calculator class. Now the relation you might have gone over here. Yeah, so it's been linked now, right? So Java has linked this particular person to this particular class. Now they are sitting at different location, different geographical location. They do not have, they don't know any like each other. What this person has done today, he or she use his or her intelligence, right, and design something which is useful for the entire world. Yeah, which is a calculator in our terms, right? And what he or she did, just extracted it as a jar file and publish in the market. Hey guys, I designed this particular functionality. Just go to Play Store or Apple Store, wherever you want, and download from that and consume it. All right, that is what it is all about. Yeah, so I download it, import it, and now I can start use it. So see, if I write something over here and if I run it, I'm able to get my output. This is what the power of the jar file. Do I need to write it again? No, I don't. Maybe this person is working on some banking project, right? Maybe this person is working on some banking project, and he or she might be having some functionality to calculate the interest and making the addition and subtraction and multiplication and division and number of operations there in the banking, isn't it? And then what they are going to do is they are having different methods in the banking, and they can use this calculator over there. Yeah, they don't need to bang their head again to write the same code which has been written over here, which has been written over here. Are you getting me? I can write the code for entire world and share the jar file with them, and they can just consume it like anything, isn't it? That is what the power of the jar file, Java archive file. Are you getting me? These two persons are totally different. They might be sitting at different geographical location. They don't know each other, but what they know only about the jar file, right? This person did a smart work. He just find it out where the jar file is about, downloaded that jar file, and just consuming in order to save these efforts. Now today we wrote a very simple project program over here. It might be the much complex or critical one. It can be anything. It can be anything. You can design your personal app over here. It can be anything, isn't it? So just demonstration purpose, we took this particular simple example to understand. And this is what it is called as API, application programming interface. Yeah, so what we are doing over here, this is just an API. Yeah, application programming interface. This is what the process which we did over here. This entire process is called as the API. So what this guy is doing, this guy is consuming my API called as the calculator. All right. So that's what Selenium and Java. Selenium is all about the API. So what we are doing, we are just consuming the different jar files as a bundle in the Selenium and working on it. Right. So any question, guys, over here? I can go ahead and say, right? See the multiple, what are all methods are there, I'll be able to get it. And by the way, this is all the default by default methods. Object is a super class, so we will get those methods over here. But what we need to do is we need to look on the void method, yeah, which we design, multiplication, subtraction, division, yeah. So we'll be able to get all the methods over here and we can consume it. That's what we can do, isn't it? So that is what it all about, right? So I can just run it and then just say run as Java application. Yeah, this is what the API is all about. This process is called as the API, application programming interface. Yeah, I just use this particular the APIs, what this guy has done, right? What this is written over here. It's just a simple jar file. It can be a bundle of the jar file, right? It can be a bundle of the jar file and can give it to the user, and then you can use it and then consume it. That is what how it is. That is what jar file is all about, and that is what the system is all about, isn't it? That is what how it is. So I don't need to bang my head again to write the same functionality. That is what how it is. All right. So any question, guys, over here?
Rahul, if you go into that jar file in the
Mm-hmm.
in the other screen,
Mm-hmm. You won't be
yeah,
able to see the code.
okay. And also
You
it
won't.
has that, the calculator is in the lower case. Is it because we have given, how do we know like what is the name of the class?
Actually, I was looking out for this question. Thank you very much. Right? How do you know what is there? Right? As a XYZ, as a third person, how that person will be know what is there in this particular class or what is there particular in this jar file. Today we design it, right? That's what we know what are there, like over here. But how this person will know what is there in this particular file or what is there in this particular jar file? How does he or she know, right? So do you want 5 minute break and continue discussion, or after that we need to continue discussion, or just now, like how, like what is your call? Come
We'll
on,
finish this
yes, no.
question. We'll
Okay.
finish this
Okay.
question maybe.
All right. So good. So we'll just continue with this. So how do I know what is there in this particular um, jar file,
Jar
right?
file, yeah.
Yeah, what it contains. All right. So that is what the beauty of the Selenium, oh sorry, beauty of the Java is. Yeah. So here it comes, right? Um, Let me open this file. Actually, I was waiting for this question. Yeah, so we open this. And if I, this is what, by the way, like you might know, right? Official website is it for Selenium. So if I go to download section, here we have different languages. And if you can see, we have something over here called as API docs. For all languages, we'll be able to see it. API docs, right? And if I open this, I'll be getting something over here. Just go for the frames. This is a new look and feel, which is very difficult to understand. Just go for the frames. And here we go. Yeah. So look at the packages. This is what the Selenium project. Yeah. This is what the Java documentation for the Selenium project. Selenium API. All right. So what is this? This is what the API documentation for the Java language, which has been used by in the Selenium. All right. So this is what my API documentation. And look at the packages and look at the order. org.openqa.selenium. Look at the package naming configuration. org.openqa.selenium. This is for the same. Selenium.openqa.org. This is for the organization name. Yeah. So org.openqa.selenium. This is going to be same across all, and then grid and then data and then age and the event and then Docker and so on and so forth. And number of packages over here, thousands of packages, tons of packages. You know, you will never be able to count how many packages are there. Right? And if I go anyone, like this is what the class is. This is what the package name. And if I see over here all classes, this is what the package name. Yeah, this is all are the packages. Yeah, so all are then in reverse order. See, org openqa.grid and then all, like, so on and so forth. This is what the Chrome org openqa selenium.chrome. Yeah, so n number of packages over here, and this is what the classes, thousands of classes, isn't it? So if I go any one of them just to demonstrate, let's go these actions. Yeah, so class actions. All right, see the package name org openqa selenium and then in interaction, isn't it? Interactions. All right, and then this is what it is. All right, the package name. So if I just scroll down, so you can just have a look over here, just read it out. So if I scroll down, so what are all methods it is containing? It is containing all these methods. This is what my class name, and this is what all methods I do have. Build, click method I do have, and what is description? Click at the current mouse location, right? Wherever my mouse is, it will gonna go ahead and click on that particular location. Yeah, so under that location can be anything, radio button, can be web link, can be any web element, can be anything over there. Yeah, but it is going to click on that, and then click and hold, context click, perform the context click operation, double click, isn't it? So perform the double click at the current mouse location. So wherever your mouse is, it is going to perform this operation over here on this particular double click. So if I right click and if I open it in new text, so I'll get some more information about that. See, perform the double click operation at the current. So I'll get some more information. What is it is and how it is. Or rather, I got almost all information for all the methods those are there. Yeah, release. So click. This is what the click method. See, some example has been also given over here. Yeah, equivalent to some example is how to use it. The example is also given over here. How to use it. Isn't it? This is what the Java document, API document for that. Yeah, so just look at. So let me demonstrate to you over here. If I just say at the moment we don't have the jar file or the selenium jar, so it won't appear. All right, so that will appear in my old project, right? For that we need to get this selenium jar first, then it will appear. So I'll demonstrate it later. I was supposed to get all these methods over there, but how do I do it? I need to get the jar file first, then I'll be able to get it. Yeah, but at the moment you can just understand, right? So this is what all methods are there. So how to do this? So who is writing all this Java document, all this API document for us? We created this class. Are we gonna write all this document, or are we gonna create this document, right? How to create this structure, right? So go for any class among this. So you will get all this information, handful information. Alert is an interface, by the way. So you can see what are different methods over there. These are 4 methods I do have available under this alert. What this do? If I click on, it will give you some suggestions, right? Accept or dismiss what it is. Yeah, so that's there. Yeah, so in actions again, one more good example in actions class. I guess we have some same keys. Same keys. See, send keys to active element. If you want to send some value, so this is what the method is going to use, send keys. Yeah, so n number of methods over here. So how to do this? Who is going to do this thing for us? So let me go to our Eclipse and we'll demonstrate how to do it. Yeah, so now this is like this API documentation is for the entire Selenium world. right, as an API. All right. So now, like, this particular organization, right? So org.openqa.selenium, right? This has designed the Selenium for us with the help of Java language, and they come up with the Java API doc for that, right? Documents for that, and which is this at the moment we are seeing on my desktop and our desktop, isn't it? So in the same way, this particular organization XYG com dot and then this guy has designed this particular calculator. All right. Now what do I need to do is I need to generate the API document out of this so that I can distribute it to the entire world saying, hey, this is what the API designed and this is what the API doc for that. Just go ahead and consume it. Right. So again, I'm gonna go ahead and right click. I'll say export. See, first what we did, a Java archive jar file out of it. Now I'm going to go ahead and say Java doc out of it. So say next. Right. All right. So provide some specific name. I'm going to go ahead and give the same name, which is desktop and jar files. All right, over here, and I'll say finish. I'll say yes to all. So probably it will take some time to generate the Java docs, and then once it is done, we can go ahead and consume it. That is how we can create the Java doc out of it, Java API out of it, right? And then we can hand out that API document with our jar file. All right, and then whoever is using can just have a look on that and then understand what is there in that particular jar file. That is the way, but there is no way like we can see the code out of it. But yes, as there is always the workaround, but yes, we can see that we can extract the jar file as well and get the code out of it. So yeah, that is also doable. But like the ideal way is that this is something how it is the ideal way. Yeah. So yeah, that is how it is. So probably let me go to that folder and see where it is. See, it has generated some the structure over here. Yeah. So we have jar file. This is what our jar file, and then like we got the structure over here, isn't it? And like if I open this index.html, see the same structure, but at the moment we have only one class called as calculator, and that is it is. See the package name. See our package name. All right. This is what my constructor. Oh, okay. We will need to discuss the constructor as well. All right. And then we have the different methods. See, addition, division, main method is also there, multiplication, then the subtraction. Yeah. So if I just scroll down, so we have not added any description. So the description is not there. But yes, we can go ahead and add the description, and then it will be appearing over there. Yeah. So this is how we can go ahead and create. But by this, the Java doc, at least you can understand we have the calculator class, and in that class we have this the methods available, isn't it? That is something how it is. All right, this is the way how we can go ahead and create it and share across the world. All right, and like this is the most useful document, API document. How do you understand what is there? There are thousands of classes. It's not possible to understand, right? It's not possible to remember all these things, isn't it? So this is the Bible for us, right? So we need to be very in depth with this particular classes and then the interfaces and the packages and all. Package we don't need to be, but yes, these classes and methods, what we like, we really need to get into all this stuff. All right. So that's there. N number of classes, thousands of tons of classes are here. Yeah. So may or may not, we are going to use only a handful of those, and this is an ocean. I mean, this is an ocean. All right. So we cannot learn everything. No one can learn everything about this, but yeah, this is what something how it is. Yeah. So I mean, explore as much as you can. Based on your capacity, you can explore as much as you can. Yeah. This is what your WebDriver is all about, and then interface is all about. Yeah. So this is something how it is. All right. So does that answer your question, Purnima?
Yeah, not like 100% I could relate, but I got some idea. So maybe like going forward with all the sessions, I'll be able to
Right.
understand better.
Right. So now when I'm saying over here, right, so if I go to over here Eclipse, and like if I'm using any method, right, so over here now, right, so this is what how it is. So when we are saying this calculator dot, like over here, so when I'm saying this calc dot, if I'm saying these four methods, from where it is coming, right, from where it is coming, this is what it is. It's coming from this particular Java, like for that particular class, from the calculator class, right? This is what the methods are there available, right? And this is what the operation is performing. We are performing. This is the by default. The super method is coming from the super class. Object is a super class, and those methods will be always there. But this is what the created or the designed by the user, isn't it? That's there, right? So if, like moving forward, whenever you're creating any object and pressing dot, and if you're saying method, that means those all methods are there in that particular class. All right. So that is there. So that is what how it is. Yeah. So this is now you may be relate, right, how it is, right? So that's there. So we designed this four method, and now this is what the way we can access it, right? The same way we are able to access it over here, in the same way we can access, in the same way other guys will be able to access it by extracting in the form of the jar file and providing in terms of the API doc to the entire world. That is what it all about. And Selenium is all about this particular world. Yeah, this is all it is. All right. So it's all about the API, right? So application programming interface, right? So just plug and play utility, just consume the jar file, and the like this is going to be a playground for you. Yeah, just play around it. That is what it's all about, right? Selenium is all about that only. No installable, no like nothing else. Just get the jar file and start working on it. All right. That is something how it is. So any question over here?
If jar files document is not available, then how can we come to know about all methods contained with that particular file? There is no another way, right?
If this is not available, you are saying
Yes.
this won't be the case. This won't be the case. If
Mhm.
anyone is giving you the jar file, he or she has to give the API documents. That is what the standard is. If
Okay.
there is no API document, there is no use of that. It's something like the user guide, user manual. When you get something new, any new product, it always come with the user document how to use it, isn't it? If there is no the document is not been provided how to use it, then what is the use of that particular the tool or the whatever you are getting it? It's useless, isn't it? So you bought anything, you got anything new, we always get the user document there with you, how to use it, user guide with it, how to use it, isn't it? That is what it is. So this API doc is nothing but the user guide how to use this, right? That is what it is in simple language, in layman term, right? It's just a guide, user guide how to use it. So this is the way, this is what it all contain, right? This is what the it is all having, isn't it? It's always come whenever you got a jar file, it always come with the API document, isn't it? That's the so how to do it, like I mean, how to do it. So to get the jar file, so now we discuss, right, how to so you want to break or shall we continue? Okay, we'll continue then. I'll take silence as no.
Five
Anyway,
minutes,
when you are
please.
silent, I'll take silence as no.
Rahul, 5 minutes, please.
Okay, all right, no worries. So we'll meet at in 5 minutes. Yeah. So
Yeah,
just go ahead.
thanks.
This conference will now be recorded.
Um, hope you are able to see my desktop. Yeah.
Yes, Rahul.
All right. So yeah, so like we were at like the API. Yeah, so now how to get it? Yeah, so like as we saw, right, we got this jar file over here and just we use it. Now in the same way, what we need to do is we need to get the selenium jar file and just start working with play with the selenium. So from where we can get the selenium jar? So selenium is come with this particular thing, a bundle of a single jar file. Yeah, so what it is there, the latest stable version is 4.811. You just need to click on it and then it will gonna give us a jar file. See, it's been downloading selenium server 4.8.1 file over here. So let it download and then we'll use it. It's that much simple. Just wait for a minute, let it finish. Where it is, it's always available under this download section. Yeah, so when you open this URL, so it's always available under this download section over here, Java document and everything. Here from here we do have the browsers, operating systems and everything is here. Yeah, it's been downloaded. I need to check where it went. Probably in downloads. It's about to download. So it's there, you can see. So it's been downloaded. So it's in there in download folder. So what I need to do is now, what I need to do. So if I go over here, in order to use the Selenium, I just right click on my project. I'll go into the build path and I can use add external archives. And this time I'll get it from my download section. But what you need to do is never use it over here. So like just cut paste from here and put in the safe area, right? Like you might have created one folder called as Selenium learning and something like that. So and then keep it over there. Yeah. So it's always good to have this thing at one particular place. Yeah. So this is what we downloaded today. Yeah, so Selenium server. So do that, just cut paste from here and keep it on safe zone where we might have kept the probably I might have created this thing. Yeah, so let me check if I have created something. Hmm, I'm not sure where I created. Yeah, probably in workspace. So like just like I don't know where I created, but yeah, you can like create it and then keep it at some particular safe zone and then from there you can consume it. So at the moment I'll just copy it from here. Yeah, so but create one folder called as the softwares, keep your jar file there, keep your JDK over there, keep your Eclipse over there, and from there consume it. Just create one particular folder, right? So what I did, see, it again came it as a reference library, right? If you looked at over here as well, it came as a reference library. All right, libraries. The same way we have got over here as a reference library, and this time it is the Selenium server 481, isn't it? The entire API. Now if I go over here, right, and if I just click, if I just use something like this,
Rahul, what is the option you selected?
yeah, just give me a minute. So what I did, I just defined this. We'll discuss what this thing is all about, WebDriver, all those stuff. So just we focus on that. So what I just did, I just created the object of the actions class. We saw right in API doc there was one class called as the actions. We were looking at this particular class, right? This is what the class is there, actions class. In API doc we saw. So what I did, I just created the object of this actions class. That's what I did over here. Actions, action is equal to new action. And now from where it is coming, see org openqa.selenium interactions and then the actions. See the package name org openqa selenium interactions and dot action. That is what this package name is, and this is what my import is. All right. If I go ahead, if I take this object from here and if I go to this Eclipse and if I try to do it, it's asking me from where I need to import this class. It's not able to understand from where I have to get it. Reason being, we do not have the jar file under these reference libraries. It's not able to understand this thing now from where I can get it. As soon as we're going to import, we're going to add this jar file over here, so it will be able to understand and then it will be able to get that particular thing from that jar file. Has been added. Now if I say, if I go and mouse over, see, now it got the import actions from this particular package, isn't it? Previously it was not able to understand from where I need to import this particular class. Now it has got this jar file, this API, and now it's able to see or able to import it from there, isn't it? Action is equal to new action, and this is what the driver is all about. So we'll see what is this driver and what this thing is all about, but the focus is what is this thing is all about, right? And now if I go ahead over here, if I just say actions dot, this is the tons of the dozens of methods available into this particular class. And from where it is coming, it's coming from the Java class, from the actions class. And what are all the significance of this class, these methods? If you are not able to understand, see, build, click, hold, click and hold, context click, double click, all things are over here. And if you are not able to understand what this is for, just go to your API doc over here. This is what it is: build, click and hold, context click. See, the sequence is also same. If you just looked at, sorry, if you just looked at, the sequence is also same. Are you following me? Context click, double click, double click.
Order.
Sorry.
It's in the alphabetical order.
Yeah, it's in alphabetical order. Yeah, so it's in alphabetical order. Build B, C, D, all this like alphabetical order. Over here as well. Yeah, it's in alphabetical order. All right. So this is what it is. So now moving forward, this is not been a question for you, from where this is coming and what this is all about. This is coming from this particular class, actions class. This is all are the methods, right? These all methods are coming from this particular actions class. And if you want to know the significance of each and every method, just go to this user document, user guide document, actions class, right? The API document, and read what you want from here and understand what this method is doing for you. All right. This is what the reference. This is what how you can relate it. This is what you can understand it, right? This is the way you can learn it and understand it, what it is and how it is. So now if I click on this, I'll be able to see what it is, right? And then like probably they have given some example as well, right? We saw some examples here as well, isn't it? So that's there. Yeah, so you can just go ahead, read it as when you're the confused about what this particular thing is doing, what this particular method is doing, right? This is what all about, right? The Selenium and the API. All right, this is what the Selenium stands, is it? So like whenever I saying what is Selenium, Selenium is an API, application programming interface. How it is built, we just saw how it is built, right? This is what how it is, right? It's all about only this particular jar file, that's it. So if I expand it, there are hell lot, I mean n number of classes and the jar files over here. See package and all those things, right? So if you just go over here, see this org, this is package. Under this again we have some different things, different sub packages and sub folders. There are n number of tons of classes and files over here. If you just you end up with looking at these classes, isn't it? There are n number of files and things over here. Yeah, so that is what how it is. So we don't need to really don't need to get into this. So this is not our area. So this is what the entire work has been done by these things, this organization, isn't it, for us? And they gave us a Selenium as a project, as an API. So just take it, consume it, use it, and play with it and learn it. That is what how it is, right? So this is what the first step and the initial step to learn and to understand what it is about, what Selenium is all about, right? So this is what your user guide, and this is what the way how we can go ahead and use it. All right, so that is what how it is. So like just bookmark this link. It's always there in this Selenium WebDriver. So like if you just go, so it's always there in your download section, right? So as we are dealing with this particular language, so we have this particular API doc. For different languages, yes, this has been available there, and this will always available. It will always available for any language. Go anywhere, right? So it's always available. That's there. All right. Yeah, so that's it. Okay, so any question, guys? So are you able to relate it now? All right. Okay,
From where
so
the
that's it.
driver come, Rahul, actually. You created these actions, object for that
Hmm.
actions class.
So that is, yeah, so just be with me, so we'll come to that point as well. So that is something different story. So the point of understanding over here is what the class, the action class only, and then methods created that. So what is that driver and from where it is coming? So is just be with me, we'll gonna discuss that as well. All right. So that is not the main agenda over here. Probably I'll keep it for your reference. Yeah, so this is not the main agenda. So main agenda is only this thing, so this thing. All right, so what it is and how it is. All right, so that's there. Yeah. So yeah, so moving to the next point, next thing. So you got this, the entire idea, right? What it is and how it is. All right, so let's move to the Selenium now. So in order to work with Selenium, so what we need to do is we need to consume it in a different way, right? So very first thing, right? So as we know what Selenium is doing, Selenium is not as per the definition it is given over here. So if I go over here about the Selenium, not here, yeah, isn't it? So it just automate the browsers, and that's it. That's the only the definition has been given on the official side. So we need to work on the browsers, right? So Selenium is going to go and work with the browsers. So like from where we can get the browsers now, right? So we do have the Chrome, Safari, Opera, n number of browsers available for us, right? So we need to deal with all those browsers, right? We need to interact with all those browsers, right? So how do we do it? So what is the interaction point, how the Selenium is dealing with the browser, right? Directly dealing with my browser, which is there in my the operating system, right? Based on my operating system. So like that's what, so what Selenium did, so they have support on different languages, different operating system. Yeah, so like as we are working with the Microsoft, so Windows, so we can use this MS and Linux, we saw it, and then we do have the different browsers, right? So at the moment the Selenium is have support on all these browsers, right? So on which browser you want to work, you just need to go ahead and download that file and then use it, right? So like if I want to work with the Chrome, I'll go over here and then I'll go their documentation, and then I can see the all versions of Chrome is available over here. Yeah, so there are a number of different versions. So latest stable release is Chrome driver, and this is what the latest stable version is. Then the previous stable version is, this is what the is a previous stable version is. You can view current implementation if you want. If you can just go ahead, and then if you have some time, so just go ahead and see all these things. If you are able to understand, then that's fine. If not, this is not our cup of tea. Yeah, better not to go into this thing. All right. All right. So yeah, so this is the latest stable version. You can see that some documentation has been given for the Chrome and all those things over here. So you just get this driver from here, just download and then consume it. Just download the Chrome driver, and we are able to see the different drivers over here. So Chrome driver for the Linux, Chrome driver for the MacBook, again the MacBook, and for Windows we do have Windows 32-bit zip file. That's the only thing is been given over here, and it's been gonna work for both Windows 32-bit and 64-bit, though they didn't mention, but it's gonna work for both the operating, I mean both the the version like of Windows. So don't be confused over here. Just download the Chrome driver Windows 32-bit, and then it will gonna just consume it. It will gonna work for that. Yeah. So let me download it. So it will come something like this. It will be appearing something like this, and then you just need to extract it. Yeah, it's been downloaded. And what you need to do is you need to extract all. Just extract it. You'll be able to see something like this. Yeah. So this is what your Chrome driver. So again, create one folder, move this particular jar file into that particular location. Yeah. And then use from there. So like I just downloaded the Chrome, and then I just extracted it. So I got this chrome driver.exe file. So this is what the exe file the Selenium is using, right, to interact with the Chrome browser, right? So it needs something to interact with your browser, isn't it? So how do it interact? It interact with this particular executable file, exe file, isn't it? So it's we always get this exe file from the the Selenium, and that's we just need to use it, right? So download, extract, and what you need to do is just copy this thing and go to your project and paste it on your project level. Directly paste it over here. So it will be coming something like this, chrome driver.exe. Yeah, it will be coming like over here directly. Yeah, so that's there. So in the same way, we have different versions. Probably get into, yeah. So downloads, and then the browsers, and then we have the Firefox over here. We have Safari, Opera, Edge. So you can take whatever you want. So Edge, like again, go to documentation. There are a number of versions. So you need to check which version of Edge you are into, and based on that you need to get like we want to, which release you are, right? So you need to check on your machine like which Edge version you are. So 1, 1, 2, or probably I'll take this, I don't know. And then again, like we have something over here, see the MacBook, and this is what again, like this is again for the ARM. We got some different versions of this thing, stable version, and this thing, and this Dave and Beta and Canary channel. So you can see over here the stable version, ARM machine, Linux, Mac M1, X and X. So this is for the 32-bit, and this is for the 62-bit. So if you have Windows with 64-bit, so just get this one, and then like you can just download this one, right? So Edge will be downloaded, something like this in the same way. Yeah, so you need to check what is your like the stable version, and then just get it from as per your the version over here. So it's been downloaded again, like the same way you need to extract it and consume it. Yeah, so just go over here, extract it, and then consume it. Just need to copy
Rahul,
it. Mhm.
we are using the latest version of Selenium, so we don't need to download these things, right?
um, no, actually we need to get it.
Okay.
So there is a way, that is the difference between Selenium 3 and the Selenium 4, what you are referring is, right? So Selenium 4, yes, we do not need, like when we are referring to Selenium 4, we do not need to download this. Selenium is, managing all these things, but it's better you know this thing as well, right? Because it's not the scenario every time, everywhere you will be able to get the Selenium 4. Yeah, probably, like if you go to any organization, they are still running on the Selenium 3. So there you may face the challenge then if you don't know this process. Yeah, because almost, like 70, 60 to 70 projects are running on the Selenium 3 at the moment. Yeah, they are migrating to Selenium 4, but someone is willing to do, someone is not. So if the project is running on Selenium 3, then you may not be able to understand the concept of the driver from where it is coming. Yeah, so it's always better to understand both. Yeah, so once you understand this concept, the Selenium 4 will be very easy to understand. Yeah, so this is the core one, isn't it? So this is what the process, like I'm trying to explain. Else Selenium, to explain the Selenium 4 is, very easy process, isn't it? But yes, I want you to know this as well, because this is the root, isn't it? You need to know this thing. Huh? So again, like, so that's what I'm trying to help you out with this process as well, right? So yeah, so this is what the Edge driver, the Chrome driver, and so on and so forth. But for Firefox, this is something different. um you just need to, yeah, so Firefox, it is called as the Gecko driver. So that is something which we need to understand, what we are using, so which version of Selenium we are using and what we are trying to do it. And then again, based on our version of the Firefox, which version of Firefox we are using, so we need to check into this particular table, right? So Selenium, this is Python, and then all those stuff. So we are using Selenium 3.41 something over here, probably 3.8 we are using. Yeah, and then that needs a Selenium, that needs a Firefox with, minimum this, like, the version. So we are using Selenium 3.8. I guess that is what we downloaded. 4.8 we downloaded. All right, so we have the latest one, so we can use anything over here. Yeah, so just get with this latest version as well, so it will gonna go and work. Yeah, so this is the chart we need to understand. So if you are using a different version of the Selenium, then like based on that, we need to use it. So that's there. So you need to go over here, Gecko driver releases, and from here you need to download it. Yeah, so again we need to like see, what is there. Or so we are using the Windows, probably, yeah, this is what it is. So 32-bit and then the 64-bit, so we need to get the 64-bit. Yeah, so that is what something like we need to get from this particular GitHub repository. So we're gonna see what this all thing is all about, Git and GitHub. So don't worry. But yeah, so at the moment, so you just need to understand this thing. So you need to go over here and then just take it, right? Or in this chart we need to see, and you need to go to this Gecko driver release, and from there you need to get the latest one. Just download it, and then like again, so same way. Yeah, so wherever it is, show in folder, and then again like extract it and then use it, the same way. So get it out, I'll directly copy it and paste it in my, workspace over here. That's it. So I got Chrome, Firefox, and the Edge. So at the moment I have these three browser installed there with me. So I'm going to use these three. So like if you have some different browsers, you can always go ahead and install those and use it. Yeah. So that's there. So I got my driver like with the help of this exe file, right? This executable file, right? So Selenium, we're going to go ahead and interact with the browser those are installed at our desktop or the workstation or the laptop, right? Whatever you are using. All right. So that's there. So what we can do, we'll go ahead and simply create one class over here, and then I'll say new, and then the class, and I'll say browsers probably. All right. So again, like under this package, I'm doing this functionality name. So first class was the calculator. Now second is what, launch browser. And if you looked at, right, the nomenclature. So class name always start with the capital letter, right, followed by the camel castling. Yeah, this is what the industry standard, isn't it? And then when you are creating the package is always in a small letter. Yeah. So if you looked at over here as well, yeah, so API doc we saw, so everything is in a small letter where it was real time API doc. This is, I believe so. So always follow the industry standard, guys, so that you may not face any challenge. See, so everything is in the small letter, and when it comes to the class is always start with the capital letter. Yeah. So that's there. So always follow the industry standard. All right. So that is what my class name and then package name, and then when and the methods again, like method always in a small letter. Always start with a small letter and in the small letter and following the camel castling. Yeah. So there's a package and methods are always in a small letter. Only class is the one which is having the first letter as in capital. All right. So don't confuse over here. Yeah, that's there. So yeah. All right. Now,
So Rahul,
so
just one quick question. So
mhm.
when we create classes, like multiple classes, so for every class we have to create with that void main.
Yes, at the moment, yes,
Okay.
because we are in the initial phase. Yes, we need to create at the main method because we want to execute it down the line when we are running, when we are creating the framework. Then there is no main method. So we'll see how
No
we
main
can
at
do it.
all.
Yeah, so we will be using the test ng for that, so we do not need to use the main method over there, but initially you need to get it, but we need to learn with the main method to understand the concepts. Yeah. So that's there. So at the moment the answer is yes, we need to be with the main method. All right. So yeah, so this main method we created, and now what we need to do is we need to um, deal with the Chrome browser. So what we can do is like we need to try see now again, like you now downloaded this driver, and then I downloaded this jar file, right? The what was jar file, this is what Selenium server jar file. Now I need to deal with the Chrome. Now how do I understand what is what we can say that the class name. So again over here, just go over here, Selenium is okay. So probably we need to search for the Chrome class, Chromium driver. This is what the Chrome driver. See, class is what the Chrome driver, we do have the class. Yeah. So let me take this one. So I know that's what I can directly take, and down the line you also be habitual with this thing. So like today it may look something um, different, but like you will be Chrome driver is equals to Now, this is what how we create the object of any class. We did, right? Calculator calc is equal to new calculator. Same way, Chrome driver is equal to new. So driver is in reference variable now over here. Don't confuse. Yeah, we saw, right? This can be anything based on your understanding. This can be anything what you want, but have some meaningful name. Yeah. So Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. So driver is a reference variable for that particular object of the Chrome driver. So is there. If I mouse over, it will gonna ask me from the import, and see the import is from, this is very important, we just need to keep our eyes there, don't import it from anywhere else. So org OpenQA Selenium Chrome, yes, this is what the package, and this is what the package where it resides. If I just go over here, see the package name, org OpenQA Selenium, and then the Chrome, this is what the package where it resides. Yeah, all right. So I imported that. So what are all the methods? You can see this is what all the methods are there, in this particular driver. Yeah, n number of methods are there in Chrome driver. Yeah, so like whenever you get time, just go through it. All right, so we'll see some handful of it. Right, so this is what how it is. So Chrome driver is equal to new Chrome driver. All right, so I you know uh, get this. Now, can anyone tell me if I run this, so what will be the output?
Nothing. It will just
Nothing.
allocate the memory.
Okay, all right. Let's see. Let's see what it's gonna do for us. Please excuse me, guys. So we are just extending. Just give me a 5 minute. We'll see what it's gonna do for us. It did something. Yeah. Are you able to see?
Yeah, the Chrome browser has opened,
Yes.
but
It is open. Yeah.
open and it is closed, or like it will stay somewhere at the bottom.
So you can see over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is just
So
successful.
yeah, so it is open and like it is closed, like somewhere, something like that, something has happened, but something has happened, isn't it? Right, so you were expect it to do nothing, but it did something, isn't it? So session was not created. Yeah, there was some error because the session was not created. It tried to start the Chrome, but it was not successful. We got some exception over here, we got some error over here, right? It was not successful. All right, we'll see what is the error message and how to deal with that thing. That is a different story. But what has happened, like as soon as I created the object of this particular class, it launched the browser. It tries to launch the browser because of some XYZ reason. It failed to do that, but it did that particular operation. So see, it again did the same operation. Now what does it mean? What does it mean? Whenever I'm creating the object of the driver class, that object is responsible to launch the browser, right? This is what the statement I can make out of this particular statement, right? As soon as I create the object of the any driver, though it be Chrome driver, Firefox driver, Safari driver, Opera driver, can be any driver, that object is responsible to launch the browser. That particular browser over here is the Chrome browser. As we are creating object of the Chrome driver. If it would have been Opera, it will be Opera. If Firefox, Firefox, like so on and so forth, right? So as soon as I create the object of the Chrome driver, it is that object responsibility to launch the browser for me. All right. This is what the statement I can make out of this particular object, and this is what gonna be your interview question, right? So they won't ask you directly the interview question. How do you launch the browser? No, never. You will get the interview question, what is the significance when I'm creating the object of the driver? That's it. You won't be able to understand what he is or what she is trying to ask you, right? That is what the interview question. You know, this is, I know everyone knows the answer of this question, right? But the way interviewers ask the question, understand the psychology, what he wants, right? You know, like whenever I'm creating the object, it will launch the browser. But the question is, what is the significance, or what the object will do, what the Chrome object will do? Can be anything. Can be anything. I can't guess what is there in the interviewer's mind, but it will be something like that. So understand this statement. This, if you understand this thing, then you'll be able to answer this question. Can be like ask like anything, right? So as soon as you create the object of the any driver, that object is responsible to launch the browser for you, right? That is what the statement of this particular you can make it up. All right. So this is what the most important interview question. Keep it in, like make a note of it. Yeah, that's there. It will be asked in a different way. It will gonna like, and if you fail to answer this question, you are done for the day. Though you are the expert, you are done for the day. All right. So that is what something how it is. It's pretty simple, but it is very, the crucial one. All right. So that's all for today. So yeah, we'll wind up today's session, and then if you have any question, please go ahead, and then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. So yeah, just go ahead if you have any question. Okay, silence. I'll take it as no, and then we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Thank you guys. Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Rahul.
Thanks,
Thank
Rahul.
Thank
you.
you.
See you tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.